it was validation. It was kind of sweet vindication and validation of what we were screaming down here in December. Like, you guys don't understand. You don't understand what this team was. You don't understand how good it was. You don't understand how special it was because of stories like this. Like, Alabama's I assume most of the guys that got drafted from Alabama this year were 5-star super-duper All-Americans that were on a 3-year track, and they got drafted. That's just how it works there. Yeah. They didn't have a kid from Albany on their team, or a kid from West Virginia, or a kid from Louisville that got his leg broken, that playing quarterback. Kid from Arizona State, a kid from Oregon that had 6 carries. You know, they didn't, or Renardo Green that went back and forth between corner and safety and was almost an afterthought. Jarian Jones was an afterthought. They didn't have those kind of stories, man. That's what made 2023 so special. It wasn't just that they were good football players and they won a lot of games. It's because they all were in valleys and they climbed out of them. And that's what made it, to me, again, I don't want to keep talking about it. I'm going to let it go. That's what made it so disappointing, is that special team with all those special types of players, including Tatum Bethune, who played injured most of the year, Fabian Lovett too, they didn't get rewarded for their hard work. The defense didn't get rewarded for their hard work because it was a badass defense. It was an elite defense, and they had good enough players all over the field to compete with anyone. So when I gave Matt Miller grief for saying that Florida State would lose by 40 to Michigan, I meant it, because that's asinine. Don't sit there and tell me that Florida State would lose by 40 to anyone. That just means you don't know what the you're talking about. And I think that this weekend proved that. Now, great, he gets paid by ESPN, and he can say all the glowing things he wants about Florida State. Saying that a team with 10 draft picks that went 13-0 is going to get beat by 40 by any other college team in the country is just pure buffoonery. And that's because we knew what this team was. Now, I don't think they're going to win a national championship. I don't. But I think they belong. They deserve the chance. And I'm just glad that this draft validated that thought and vindicated what we were all saying. This was not a one-person team. It was ridiculous that it was ever presented that way. They had 9 other dudes drafted that weren't named Jordan Travis, and they have 12 other dudes that are going to be in NFL camps. And, oh, yeah, next year, Peyton, Azarie Thomas, and a few other guys will be added to the list of guys that contributed in 2023 that didn't get a shot to play for the title. Sorry, I somehow brought it back to Herb Street. Didn't want to, but I had to. And it was funny and I mentioned this in the column, when after Jarian Jones was drafted, because I didn't watch a second of the ABC coverage. I should have. It sounds like Saban's pretty good at it.
He is. He was quite enjoyable.
But I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't. I like Riddick and I like Jeremiah on the NFL Network, so I was going back and forth. But once Jarian Jones was drafted, I made a point to go to ABC to see what they were saying. And Herb Street, in a kind of library-ish voice, was like, "Yeah, that's 6 now for Florida State. They're up there with Washington and Michigan, huh? They all 3 had great seasons."
Yeah.
We know, Kirk. Yeah. We know.